Okay, so now we're going to be looking at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service website, which is fws.gov. As we've been doing with the other websites, let's go ahead and just give a little overview. Let's click on that link at the very top about us. And just gives us a little bit. We are the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the only agency in the federal government whose primary responsibility is the conservation and management of fish, wildlife, plants, and their habitats for the American people. Definitely more to explore there. Next, let's go ahead and look at the headings here. So, of course, you've got your home, you've got your services, you've got your species you can explore, the Visit Us link, Get Involved, which you're going to have the education programs under there, your newsroom, so current news, press releases, initiatives, and then I want to. So this could be really helpful for those who are in the education field, just more ways to get involved. And then, of course, you do have your basic search link there too. And towards the very top, you do have laws and regulations as well as your library to explore further. Let's go ahead and start scrolling down towards that footer. As you can see, more information you could take in. They've got their slider here that you can go through the different slides, see what they want to focus on, view all stories. Again, just scrolling down, seeing more of their focal points. What we do for you, education programs, as you can see there, visiting locations, and then down here, the footer, not a very robust footer, but it does give you some things such as the frequently asked questions, which can be so helpful, the contact us link, and then of course, you're gonna have your links out to other government websites, and you do have your Freedom of Information Act link there as well. And then let's scroll back up and let's look at that basic search bar, which we have here at the top. Slowly looking over some of those details. So let's go ahead and click on that. Let's try putting in climate like we've done at the other websites, just out of curiosity, see if anything comes up. So for that, you do have a few things, climate close-ups, and again, you have these additional ways to filter further. So things you can explore. Again, you don't have that advanced search, but you can still narrow things as you go along. The library link up top here, that one, I would definitely explore a little bit more because then you can search the library for specific terms. Gives you documents and more, featured categories as you go down, educational materials, as you can see there. And scrolling back up, under that library link, you can go under collections. So if you wanted, you could look at collections. So again, although you don't have that advanced link like you do in the apa.gov website, you do have other ways of navigating and finding specific information. And then as our focus today is more about getting those educational resources, let's go back to that link for Get Involved. And then as you can see here, you've got the link for education programs you can then click on. And then as you look down here, you do have this link for view all education programs. So let's go ahead and click on that. And then this is kind of cool because you can refine your results on this side here, and you can delve a little bit more into those programs of interest. So you can go ahead and change by education program type, audience, activity, state, program, facility, age range. So, ways that you can tailor whatever that lesson plan is that you have in your mindset. So, there we go. That's going to be for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. All right, the next website we're looking at is the United States Forest Service. So, as we looked at the previous websites, you'll see the upper left corner, it does show it's an official website of the United States government. The link is fs.usda.gov. Let's go ahead and find out about the agency. So let's click on that About the Agency link there, and we'll just scroll down a little bit. So as we can see, caring for the land and serving people. Established in 1905, the Forest Service, an agency of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, is the nation's foremost federal forestry organization. The agency is a world leader in forest research, providing leadership in the sustainable management, conservation, use, and stewardship of natural and cultural resources on national forests and grasslands in the United States. As you can see on that left side, a little more details you can find out about the agency. It does have newsroom, publications, so those are great resources. The Contact Us link. So we'll scroll back up and let's look at those heading tabs. We've got the Visit Us, which you can see has some great resources like maps, photos, videos. Managing the Land gives you details there. Learn, which will be a great area for us to explore in a little bit because it's got the educators and parents link. Science and technology. Under here, you've got data, tools, products, working with us, about the agency, which you were just looking at, and then inside the Forest Service, so you can find out more. All right, so we've looked at those headers. We'll scroll down now. As you can see, you've got additional details to look at. On that footer, you've got the Contact Us. You've got additional links as familiar from the other websites, the Freedom of Information Act link. You've got links that'll take you out to other government websites, of course. And then as we scroll back up, you've got the basic search, which you can take advantage of if you're so inclined. Let's go ahead. We're just going to enter the word climate. All right, that's just taking a moment. And then as you can see here, it brings up the results. Looks like about 249. And then on the left-hand side, as you've seen with some of the other websites we've looked at today, you do have ways to filter further, which can be helpful. And then, although you don't have that advanced search, you do have other ways to try to narrow things to get to the content that you're really in search of. And then, of course, let's go back to that educational part of the website. So, as before, we went under Learn, and then you've got educators and parents. And then here you've got ideas for the classroom, just for you. So definitely something to explore on the left side. You've got for kids, natural resources, professionals. So definitely an area as an educator or an undergraduate focusing on the environment, some other content that you can utilize, whether it's in a school project or if you're in the classroom as an educator and want to utilize it for a lesson plan. All right, we're at our final website, which is the U.S. Geological Survey website. So very similar to the other websites. We'll do a quick overview. It is, of course, at usgs.gov. Towards the upper portion on the left, we see it does say it's an official website of the United States government. We're going to click on that About link just so we can find out a little bit about what they do. And we'll click on who we are. And here we can see, created by an act of Congress in 1879, the USGS provides science for a changing world, which reflects and responds to society's continuously evolving needs as the science arm of the Department of the Interior The USGS brings an array of earth, water, biological, and mapping data and expertise to bear in support of decision making on environmental, resource, and public safety issues. So we'll go ahead and scroll back up. We'll click USGS in the upper left corner to go back to that home page. And let's explore the headers here. So first we have science, which gives you lots of information under Science Explorer, gives you lots of details, also has the maps and mapping in that area. You have your mission areas, you have your regions, and then of course on the right side there, you've got your science centers, observatories, laboratories. You've got those frequently asked questions, which can be so helpful, educational resources, which we're focusing more on today, special topics, and then the USGS celebrates the Year of Open Science. Next, under products, you have that data, which can be very useful, maps, a multimedia gallery, publications, the web tools. So if you want to set up an API, you've got your software, US Board Geographic names, the national map, you've got your USGS library, the store, park passes. And then, of course, you've got news on that header next, so you can see what the current news releases are, featured stories, technical announcements, media contacts. If you're a reporter, it gives you some additional access there to links. You've got your connect link at the top there, gives you that ability to contact the USGS, and then back to the about link, which we quickly looked at, but of course gives you so much more information to explore. Next, now that we've explored the headers, let's kind of scroll down. You'll see some of the things that the website is offering in focus, which you can explore more later. And then we are going to go down here to that footer. And again, the footer just has a lot of information that in the event you're looking for something specific, you could always try there, see if it'll take you to what you're looking for. Again, it revisits some of the things we saw above, like the frequently asked questions, educational resources, the products like data, maps, publications, the news stories, how to connect, more about, and then down here as well as the other websites you saw, it had the Freedom of Information Act link, as well as links that'll take you out to other government websites. As we scroll back up, you do have your basic search bar. So we're just going to do a quick little search for the word climate. Let's click search. And although it doesn't have an advanced search like the EPA website, towards the left side here, you can see how you can filter your search further. So if you were like, you know what, I want to focus on the year 2022, you can see it's going to have 132 different resources. You could go to news, featured story. So however you wanted to filter that down further, you can play with some of those filters. So you can see there. And then, of course, today we're talking a little bit more about the educational resources. So back to that home page, if that's helpful, we're going to go to science. And then on that right-hand side, as we saw before, we've got educational resources. And here, look here for links, browse through for some popular educational resources. And as you can see, it has images under educational topics so you can explore. And then also on the right-hand side, you've got your virtual classroom visits, internships, citizen science, be an explorer. Again, you have your frequently asked questions. And then as you go down a little bit further, related information, you've got their public lecture series. So lots as an undergraduate who is focused on environmental education or just educators in general, lots here for you to access for your learning plans. Thank you so much for your time here today. As you can see on this final slide, we just have a recap of our strategy and key elements. I've also included a supplemental scavenger hunt with screenshots helping you locate the educational resources, as well as a answer key at the end of the document. I hope that helps you start applying what you've learned here today. Again, I appreciate your time and I hope you feel more confident about approaching these government websites. Thank you so much.